My client had suffered with TMJ pain for years. We're talking chronic pain tension headaches, and sometimes couldn't even sleep because of the pain. She tried mouth guards, they didn't help. Physical therapy gave her temporary relief at best. She was even considering Botox or surgery. Then we discovered something shocking. Her breathing pattern was making everything worse. Within 6 weeks of changing how she breathed, her pain had decreased by almost 80%. Stay with me and let me tell you what happened. First, let me tell you about my client. She's a high-achieving woman, a manager with 2 kids. She's had health and family issues in the past few years. She's always juggling, always managing others' issues, and always pushing through her pain. Does that sound familiar? In one of her sessions, she told me that she'd been dealing with jaw tension and TMJ pain. Every morning, she'd wake up with a very tight jaw, and it would click and pop even. She couldn't eat certain foods without pain. At night, she'd grind her teeth so hard she'd actually damaged several molars, even with a night guard. She'd done everything her dentist and doctors suggested. Custom mouth guard. Wore it religiously. Physical therapy for her jaw. Helped temporarily. Stress management techniques. She was already meditating, already doing yoga. But nothing was giving her lasting relief, and she was starting to lose hope that anything ever would. In her first session with me, she said something I'll never forget. I feel like I'm living with this low-level emergency all the time. Like my body won't let me relax even when I want to. After she told me about her TMJ issues, I noticed something. I asked her to pause and take a few natural breaths. Just breathe normally, and I watched. And she was breathing like this. Her shoulders were rising with each breath. Her chest was rising, but her belly wasn't moving. Watch again. Is that familiar to you? Do you do that too? She was using her secondary breathing muscles, the ones in her neck, her shoulders, and her upper chest. Meanwhile, her primary breathing muscle, her diaphragm, which is down lower, the diaphragm down here in her belly wasn't moving at all. Now you might think, so what? What's the problem? She's breathing, right? She's getting oxygen. And yes, you are absolutely right. Breathing is always preferable to not breathing, holding your breath. But here's the problem. When you breathe this way, you're sending constant danger signals to your nervous system. Think about it. When do you naturally breathe like this? When you're startled, when you're scared, when you're running away from something. It's your body's emergency breathing pattern. And her body, it was in emergency mode 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even while she slept. Her body genuinely thought she was running from a tiger all day, every day. Let that sink in for just a moment. And then consider, where does that tension go? Where does your body hold that constant state of alarm? Usually it's going to be your jaw, your shoulders, your neck, the very places she was having problems. Every shallow breath was reinforcing the tension pattern. She was literally breathing her pain into existence without even knowing it. Let me explain what's actually happening physiologically, because this is important. Your jaw tension isn't just a jaw problem, it's a nervous system problem. When you're in fight or flight mode, when your sympathetic nervous system is activated, your body unconsciously clenches and braces. It's preparing for impact, preparing to fight or run. Your jaw muscles are some of the strongest muscles in your entire body. When your nervous system perceives threat, it locks them down tight. Add to that the secondary breathing muscles in your neck and shoulders have direct connections to your jaw. So every time she took one of those shallow chest-high breaths, she was signaling danger to her nervous system, activating the muscles that connect to her jaw, keeping her body in that constant state of bracing and clenching. It wasn't her fault. She didn't even know she was doing it. This breathing pattern had become so automatic, so unconscious that it felt normal to her. But her body was paying the price. So here's what we did. We worked on retraining her breath, moving from chest breathing to belly breathing, from secondary muscles to primary muscles, from emergency breathing to calm breathing. Let me show you what proper diaphragmatic breathing looks like. And I'll scoot back so you can see. Watch my hand. When I breathe in, my belly expands. It rises out. When I breathe out, it falls back in. My chest might move a little. My shoulders stay relatively still, but the primary movement is happening down here in my belly. This is your diaphragm working, this big dome-shaped muscle that sits below your lungs. When you inhale, it contracts and moves down, pushing your belly out. When you exhale, it relaxes and moves up. Belly falls back in. And here's the magic. When you breathe like this, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your body's natural rest and digest mode, the opposite of fight or flight. You are literally sending safety signals to your brain with every breath. So I asked my client to practice this daily, just 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes at night. Lying on her back, hand on her belly, learning to let her diaphragm do the work. And I taught her to check in throughout the day as well. Where am I breathing right now? Is it up in my chest or down in my belly? When she'd catch herself chest breathing, she'd take 3 slow belly breaths to reset. Within 2 weeks, her jaw pain had decreased dramatically. Her physical therapist couldn't believe the change, and her dentist asked what she'd done differently. But here's what she told me was even better than the pain relief, and I'm going to quote her directly. I feel calm for the first time in years, like my body finally got the memo that I'm safe. I didn't realize how exhausting it was to live in that constant state of emergency until I wasn't in it anymore. That gets me right here when I hear that. Now, I'm sharing her story because it's powerful, but also because it illustrates something so important. This isn't just about TMJ. It's not just about jaw pain. It's about how your body holds stress, how your nervous system expresses dysregulation. For this client, it showed up as jaw tension. For you, it might be shoulder pain that won't go away, digestive issues that doctors can't explain, insomnia even though you are exhausted, chronic anxiety even when your life is good, or maybe brain fog and inability to focus. Different symptoms, same root cause. Your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And the beautiful thing, your body wants to heal. It's designed to return to calm. You just need to speak its language. You need to give it the signals that say, we're safe now, you can relax, you can let go. This client's transformation came from changing one breathing pattern, just one tool. Imagine having a whole toolkit, knowing not just how to breathe, but when to use which breathing technique, when your body needs movement versus stillness, how to read your body signals before they become pain or panic or shutdown. That's exactly what I teach. And speaking of which, next week I'm talking about something really important for those of you who feel disconnected from your body. Because if you can't feel your body, you can't regulate your nervous system. And I'm going to show you exactly how to reconnect to your body. Then in 2 weeks, mark your calendar, I'm hosting a free live training. It's called Why Your Meditation App Isn't Working and What Your Nervous System Actually Needs. I'm going to go deep into what I touched on today and teach you how to match the right practice to your current state. So you stop wasting time and energy on tools that don't work for where you actually are. Because face it, who has extra time, right? More details coming next week, but right now I want you to do something. Simply pay attention today to how you're breathing. Put your hand on your belly right now even. Take a breath. Does your hand rise or is all the movement up in your chest? Comment below and let me know, are you a chest breather or a belly breather? No judgment either way, just awareness. And if you have jaw tension, shoulder pain, chronic headaches, or anxiety that won't quit, save this video. Try 5 minutes of belly breathing today and notice what shifts. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.